Praise to you, O Christ. We continue our progressive reading from Evangelii Gaudium, the Joy of the Gospel by Pope Francis, his apostolic exhortation on the proclamation of the Gospel in today's world. Yes to the challenge of a missionary spirituality. Paragraph 79. At times, our media culture and some intellectual circles convey a marked skepticism with regard to the Church's message, along with a certain cynicism. As a consequence, many pastoral workers, although they pray, develop a sort of inferiority complex, which leads them to relativize or conceal their Christian identity and convictions. This produces a vicious cycle. They end up being unhappy with who they are and what they do. They do not identify with their mission of evangelization, and this weakens their commitment. They end up stifling the joy of mission with a kind of obsession about being like everyone else and possessing what everyone else possesses. Their work of evangelization thus becomes forced, and they have devoted little energy and very limited time to it. This brief paragraph is highly significant as it reveals the anti-current or the headwind which we are facing and struggling when witnessing to Christ. The Pope points out that in our culture, through the media, there are constant messages which belittle the Church and Christ's presence in it. All the time we are bombarded with bad news about the Church, the failings of its leaders occasionally, child abuse cases, or the internal debates and divisions in some historical churches about gender, sexual identity, and marriage, just to relativize truth, faith, and hope. And this indeed can weaken our identity, who we are. It can make us uncertain. And the Pope really rightly highlights and teaches about that our world, our mediatized world, our cyber world, causes a cognitive distortion, just washing up the meaning of words, doctrine, and commitment. So let us receive today's Holy Communion and the Word of God at the table of the Word and the table of the Eucharist as a strengthening of this identity, as silencing the cognitive distortion which penetrated our hearts, prayer life, and souls. May the Eucharistic Lord, through this sacrament, the Holy Communion, make us confident and joyful disciples, and in our places and states of life, confident and joyful fathers, mothers, grandparents, and friends